Okay, a wonderful day to everyone who has decided to join us today on this Java. My name is DaTa, or DaTa, or DaTa, however you want to call me. And today I'm joined by two beautiful gentlemen that I can introduce themselves right now.
Hello, I'm LucasB, Lucas Boat, whatever you want to call me.
Greetings, my name is Palkia62, and I only go by Palkia62.
Yes, today we will be recording the Poison Point power rankings. And I think right off the bat I can say that all your teams are unviable. Except for mine, of course.
Wow, such bias, such bias.
Yeah, a little bit biased there, I can see.
Before we actually start, I just wanted to say that if you have any complaints, please redirect them to as he's completely responsible for all of the placements, as I've just now decided.
Yeah, I'm sure he will like
him.
that. You can definitely spam him. So, can we start with number 16?
So let's start with our first candidate here. One and only DJ, or DGBA, however you want to call him.
Onja. Onja. Yeah. And he sings Suburban Slowpokes.
Yes. On his team he has Aegislash, Landorus T, Latias, Kamao, Mega Tyranitar, Quagsire, Tapu Bulu, Rotom Frost, Type Now, Whirlipede, Empoleon, and Typhlosion. First of all, I definitely have to say that I feel like the team is quite weird. But we know of Jar that he tends to draft these weird teams. So even though like it's last place here, I'm sure that Jar can make it work.
Yeah, if I remember his teams from before, they were a little bit better than this one. But I can still see him making this team work. But how can I say this?
I mean,
what you were going to say?
I mean, in the end, it's subjective here, of course, but we definitely know of Joe that he tends to drop unconventional teams. But I feel like definitely for this team, there's a few things that just don't quite work out. Like the first thing that came in my mind when I saw this team is that he has Lando T and Tapu Bulu in the same team. And obviously, Lando doesn't really have good ground stab unless you count Earthpower. Besides the Q, then weakened by the grassy terrain. Additionally, he drafted a double Dragon Core, Latias and Como. But if you look at it, even though he drafted double dragons, he only has like Aegislash and his last 3 picks to take advantage of fairies. And like it's a Whirlipede and the Typhlosion that are obviously not gonna come very frequently. And Aegislash and Empoleon aren't bad per se, but it's just, I feel like kind of lacking if you are that very weak with your other mods.
Yeah, like he doesn't have that many fairy resists, although Empoleon and Aegislash both work like wonderfully for that, but they may be a little bit overwhelmed.
Yeah, honestly,
I think he
work
also
that much. Usually you want to have your...
nice weakness.
Yes, he has a quite
weak.
large wise weaknesses.
Because like his best reason that will become regularly would be like Aegislash, but then like his other ice resistance like below like Typhlosion, which won't be coming much, and like Empoleon. So
yeah, again the Empoleon.
Yeah, Empoleon might be a little bit pressured to support all the threats that scare his main offense.
Yeah, I also don't think Aegislash is actually that good at abusing fairies, because usually you'd want it to be offensive, right? And it also doesn't really have recovery besides like lefties, and then you can draft it with, you can use it with King's Shield, so you get even more recovery back. But it just can't be your primary fairy. It's like if it's just if it just has, it's like a fairy with ground step. Like if he faces a Mega Diancie and it just Moonblast or Earth Power, it just doesn't do that much, really. Struggles against that a lot.
Fairies with ground coverage like destroy this thing.
I do have to say, like, his hazards are like, his hazard game is like really good. He has like a lot of really good rockers. He has Empoleon, Como, Landed Team, Mega DaTa.
Yes.
Doesn't really have any
Yeah,
other hazards unless you count Whirlipede, and Whirlipede probably isn't coming to a game.
Yeah, but I mean, I think he drafted it for the hazards. There's not much else it can do.
yeah.
Yeah, of course. Let's see.
His removal is also good as well.
Yeah, his removal is very solid
Mhm.
too.
Yeah, it's
He
quite
focused.
good. Latias, Rotom, and Empoleon. Yeah, on the hazard game he's pretty good, I think.
Yeah, but I just don't see how the team really works together. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, you do have to say that he drafted really well around Aggie Slash, like to take care of the checks. Like you have Como that is like really good at pressuring normal types, and then Landed T with Aggie Slash work wonderfully together.
Yes, that is true.
Like then again, Aggie Slash, like if you look at other round 1 options that you have, Aggie Slash is a bit underwhelming, I'd say.
Yeah, I could see Aegislash going round 2, so he could have grabbed something else round 1.
Yeah. I think Mega Galaxy is still up for grabs.
Yeah, what? I mean, it's fine, but I just don't think the team supports. I just don't think the team is good enough to back it up. And I feel like the double dragons is a weird choice, and I feel like rather than like dragon is obviously a really good type, but I feel like rather than helping him, it hurts him a whole lot more.
Yeah,
But again, Jar is definitely known to make like these weird unconventional types of teams work, and I think he also won his first week. So I'm interested in seeing how he does, and definitely feel like he can still do very well, even if his team is on the worst side.
yeah, I think that's pretty much it that we can say about his team.
Yeah.
Do you see anything else glaring about it, or not?
I think it's sad. It's just very underwhelming.
Yeah, on paper it looks underwhelming. But obviously, Charles
Yeah, like
so he'll be able to
I
get.
do have to
that
say that this also applies to every other team. I don't think there's a single team that was drafted this season that is like unusable and cannot win. Like of all the other team drafts, I'm definitely of the opinion that this is the worst one.
Yeah, although it's not the how can I say, it is like all teams are pretty close together in my opinion. So, and even the bad ones are like very close. So yeah, I can see it being a little bit above than it.
I do think there's gonna be a bit of a drop off later on. Yeah, we just mentioned that round 1 Aegislash is something that only happens quite rarely these days. And another thing that is very rare these days, and it's actually an endangered species. So with this we can, I think, move on immediately. Lucas, will you introduce the team?
Sorry, I didn't understand you now.
Can you introduce the team, the next team?
Oh yes, next team we have Panda's team. Clowntown Ishans.
Clowntown Ishans.
Yes, Clowntown Ishans.
Which is a top tier.
I think this is easily the best named team. But unfortunately, we had to rank this team a little bit low as a draft. And he has a Spectrier, Terrakion, Melmetal, Togekiss, Mega Blastoise, Donphan, Decidueye, Umbreon, Reuniclus, Centiskorch, and lastly Pikachu. So
by now, unfortunately, Panda has already dropped the league. He got replaced by Gilbina. But Gilbina made some changes to the team, so it definitely was noticed that he had some issues with the team. It's also quite obvious that he was that he really drafted the team based on new toy syndrome. You can see it with the round 1 Spectria, and then like the Terrakion is somehow supported because like most really broken fighting times were gone at that point.
Yeah, Terrakion is like really scary. Like, there are not many teams that can handle it.
Yeah, I'd say like the first two do have like complement each other but well, because Terrakion handles a lot of the ones that Spectre will struggle against, like the normal types, and even like dark types like Mandibuzz. So I think that too, that the first two ones are good. But then, like, I feel like I see Melmetal and I'm thinking, I feel like it doesn't, like Melmetal in this team doesn't really go well.
I think Melmetal is still a good one. Like a good move.
It's a good
down to 14 points this season. I think that's was honestly a bit too much. Like it's like 15.1 still.
Yeah.
Though people used to overrate it a lot. I do have to say that Terrakion round 2 is like really early.
Yeah.
Usually we can wait for it. You can wait for it to get on like around 3, maybe even round 4.
Yeah. I just feel like his team, the top of his team is definitely just very underwhelming and just loses to most other stuff.
His first 3 picks are quite good on their own, but they are not very versatile, and they have somewhat of a synergy among each other, but like the lack of versatility for those 3 picks like really hurts the team, I think, because you want to spend as much points you can early on more versatile ones that can help you in more different situations.
In general, I have to say that this team is like super straightforward. Like if you look,
you can pretty much expect everything that each one wants to do.
He doesn't have hazard in terms of hazards as well. He's like stealth rock.
It's basically Donphan brings rocks, or he has to bring like some lead Terrakion, or like you can run rocks on Terrakion, but usually you'd want to have 4 other moves.
Yeah, it's quite rare that you don't need a 4th attacking move or for Terrakion that you can put stealth rocks in it. You usually have like CC, Stone Edge, even Mega Horn now.
And while he has drafted what I believe to be the best ghost in the meta right now, it's still important to see how weak to ghosts he really is. Like he has the Umbreon as a resist, and that's just kind of it. And he has Spectre that is weak to it, and he has the Decidueye that is weak to it. I feel like the double ghost is also just something that doesn't really work on his team.
Yeah, we were talking before, and we think that if he had drafted another grass type that is not Decidueye, it could have been a little bit better on this team.
Yeah. Although you have to say,
I think he needs a grass type. I think he does need a grass type because like it gives him like another ground resistant. But I think he needs like a ground resistant like grass, because his ground resists are like ground. The answers of the Decidueye and Togekiss base code.
Yeah.
he's definitely quite weak to ground with, like, he has Kiss as a immunity and then CGI, but he has a lot of weaknesses in Melmetal and Kraken. This is another team that if you were to face Nidoking, for example. Well, Nidoking destroys every team, but this team will have special struggles against that.
Yeah, just
The Reuniclus could probably somewhat handle it fine, but
Yeah, Reuniclus, like, it's so bulky that you can basically count it as a resist for for most stuff.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
that
do you think that
obviously
this is
is
a team
limited.
that-
It can't do anything, everything.
I do think that this is a team that can like handle other mons in other ways, like just bring like a bulky Melmetal that can somewhat check other stuff. Reuniclus and Umbreon can handle a few mons fine. Donphan with maybe wish support from Togekiss if it needs it. It's also fine to handle someone, but I feel like just overall it doesn't really work. And I wanted to say this. I do feel like the Umbreon pickup was not quite good because the wish support Umbreon gives is extremely valuable for this team. Melmetal really likes the wishes. Donphan and Mega Blastoise like
Yes,
the wishes
definitely.
as well.
Like, Umbreon
And
is
then
like
he can
going to be a
also
little
run-
bit pressured to keep his some of his bulkier mons alive.
Then you can also run, as you just said, you can also run Togekiss with wish support. If you don't want to bring the Umbreon, but that's of course that's good. Another big weakness of this team is that it's actually hella slow. He has the Spectria, which is like one of the fastest ones in the meta right now. It's
Yeah, and then Terrakion, and then it
Base.
drops like to Togekiss, I think. No, Pikachu, but then
Pikachu.
Pikachu is like his third fastest mon, so it's definitely quite
And
slow.
also drop off from Spectre to Draken is already quite bad, I'd argue.
I don't think so, because it's like 130 to 108.
Yeah, but it still allows like what fine because you can like force 120 speed ones to run speed nature. But I think like something in between would have been better.
Yeah,
But
I think like
it's
something like
not the main
Weavile
issue.
can
Yeah,
run
that's BTS.
Adamant.
Yeah,
Yeah, only having
he basically
Yeah,
has
but-
a team that. If you look at it, he basically has a team that already loses to stuff like that, and then Adamant Nature as well. Omega Stars could probably handle it fine.
Yeah, but not
That's
for
all
long.
I wanted. Yeah, in general, his team kind of lacks longevity if he can't use Umbreon well.
Yeah, he's going to have to play Umbreon like very well in order to succeed.
yeah.
Generally not a big fan of Umbreon. I feel like it gets taken advantage of quite easily. Because most fighting types can just kind of maybe SD like on the wish. If you want to protect after the wish. Like I just don't like these very passive wish ones. Like it has stab foul play and that's really good for it, but I feel like a lot of threats can still come in it and just set up.
Yeah. So they would have like some sub with Calm Mind that sometimes can be like really scary for his team.
Yeah.
A sub Calm Mind set like destroys his team. A proper mon with sub Calm Mind. I think.
Yeah. Sure. You won't always have the option, but it's definitely quite scary in a few matchups. I think that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we have covered everything. I don't see much else we can say. Besides that, ATT is like really happy because he drafted Unreal.
Really should go. It's quite unfortunate. Well, I'm interested to see. Don't know. Panda got 6-0 League 1 of this team. I'm interested to see how OGL Biner does with this team, because I definitely feel like he's a very capable player.
Yeah, I think he can do good. Especially
The
because we
trades he
have
made-
like looking at the other teams.
Yeah,
Yeah. Although I feel like OGL Biner traded just the CGI for Among Us.
Mhm.
I honestly
Yes.
feel like it might have not been that good because it was his only ground resist.
yeah, that was one thing I was looking at. Maybe.
Yeah, besides Stokies, like he doesn't have anything else left. But this is a post-draft power rankings, not like week 2, week 3, so
Yeah,
we are
Yeah.
looking at before the trades happened.
yeah, just the initial drafts.
Mm-hmm.
As you might have noticed. Well then, Palkia, how about we talk about the next team?
Our next team was also another potentially endangered species, well maybe not, but is in 14th place, is coached by Brandon. Brandon, coach of the Toronto Razorleafs. In his team he has Zeraora, Zapdos, Galarian form, the God of War, Dragonite, Incineroar, Registeel, Roserade, Licky, Starmie, Unorigus, and Arctic.
I did see a lot of people say that Aurora isn't really a round 1 pick anymore, and some people go as far as saying it should be like 15 points at best.
I still think it's like quite good.
Yeah,
I agree. I like Zeraora still. I feel
It can be
it's
like
probably-
it can still be like really problematic for some teams.
hmm
I know Chess thinks Zeraora is pretty shit.
Yes, but Chess is also pretty shit.
Indeed, exactly.
got him.
The
So-
problem I see with this team is if you like look at it, just doesn't really work together. Like if you think about Zapdos Galar, for example, one of the biggest problems it has are fairies. But then if you look at the rest of the team, well, what really handles fairies on his team? Like Roserade, which
Registeel, I guess.
Yes.
yeah, and like his offense, like individually, I think these are good ones, but they just don't work together. So they just kind of struggle against the same stuff. In my opinion.
Yeah, I can see that. I think Galarian Zapdos with Dragonite does seem like a weird combination. Dragonite seems more as a dragon, but I think most of the editions more like sort of short air flying type. So like, it does seem weird to get both Galarian Zapdos and Dragonite.
I do really like the Roserade on this team. The spike support it gives us always great for Zapdos, Galar, and Defiant.
Oh yeah. So you can
And then
deter some defaults sometimes. Even
Yeah,
though
offensively.
stuff runs boots more often than not nowadays.
yeah, certainly. I think Defiant is another reason. If I think if Zapdos Galar was existent last generation, it would have been a lot better. These days you can just put on a lot of boots on your mons and then you kind of forgo removal. Good. But Roserade, I think it's like really nice to complement his offense. It takes care of grasses and grounds for Zeraora, takes care of fairies for Dragonite and Zapdos Galar. I just kind of wish he would have done that more with his top picks as well. rather than just relying on Roserade.
I think Gardevoir can help a little bit the others, because it's such an offensive threat that not many things can resist, can take its moves. So it can definitely help against stuff that Zeraora and Zapdos struggles with.
I don't disagree. I just don't feel like it's like more on this team than on another team. I feel like just like Mega Gardevoir was an insane one, and it puts a lot of offensive pressure on the opposing teams. I just don't think the rest of the team really complements Gardevoir in any way. Like, of course, you have Incineroar that can like pivot into it, and that's good, as well as Zeraora, and yeah, I definitely think it works nicely with the top 2 picks because they can just U-turn it or world switch into it.
Yeah, I can see like a little bit of like a little bit of lack of type synergy, not much, but still there.
I agree.
Like fighting in Psychic is a really good type core, but
yeah,
I think it
Dark type in the back as well, but I feel like also if you want to have like a team based around your Zapdos Galar of Defiant, I would have wished for him to have better hazard setters. Like he has Renerigus and Registeel for rocks, and Registeel is a really good rock off for sure, and Renerigus is going to bring rocks every week as well, but they're just kind of low point ones that you might not want to bring every week. And I feel like with Zapdos Galar, you just want to have one rocks option every game.
Yeah, definitely. You need that chip like really helps with getting like some 2-hit KOs that you might not get otherwise.
Yeah, his removal's not necessarily that good as well, because he has bits like Dragonite and Starmie, which is unfortunate. But I think that's the problem with like drafting Zapdos Galar, because it doesn't have G-Form. You're gonna have to get potentially another flying type just to do that, which is probably one of its biggest, well, the weaknesses of any of the Galarian birds is that they don't have access to G-Fog.
And also his ground resists are like non-existent. He has 2 immunities on Zapdos Galar and Dragonite, but those 2 mons don't exactly want to switch into ground types that often too. Like if they might just have like ice coverage, and he doesn't really have much he can do for that, and especially when his first one is Zeraora, which is obviously, well, ground types are obviously the biggest counter Zeraora has. I just find it odd that he drafted a team that is this weak to ground types. Have to rely on Starmie 1v1ing grounds, which obviously it can do. The most Pokemon either.
Yeah, like he's definitely quite ground weak, especially because I can see like his top Incineroar and Registeel coming like a little bit more often than you would like for a mons that are not as high on the draft board. This can easily translate into something like a little bit more problematic again when you face like a Landros, either Incarnate or Tyrion, or even some strong mons that can pack ground coverage, because Earthquake is like super many mons can learn Earthquake, so you can definitely put him in a bit of a weird spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like ground types are definitely something he's going to struggle against.
Flying types as well to an extent, because there's no bulkier mon like Licky in general that is still all weak to fighting, and then his main fighting resistors are like Stormy and Dragonite and Zapdos on Gardevoir mech, and also Zapdos and Gardevoir are mostly going to be offensive with no, well, Zapdos with no recovery. So he's going to be...
Yeah, I think it's mostly fine between Stormy and Renerigus, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
But I can see what you mean there. Rosary, but
I can see
it's something
Gardevoir
we could,
being a little bit more defensive as well, because it is so strong that you often don't need a lot of a special attack investment, that you can put the rest into bulk. And
you can definitely just run it with Wish support instead of.
yeah,
I like the Wish on this team as well. I also like the Licky pickup because of that, because Registeel and Renerigus both really like the Wish.
Yeah.
Very true, that. And the other support options that Gardevoir has are like really good. With Healing Wish, Will-O-Wisp is always quite nice.
Yeah, Healing Wish could be especially good if you want to like pressure with Sarah early game and still clean with it in the end. It's like the best cleaner that would be available in the drafting format.
Yeah, helpful with like Zapdos, Glare and Zapdos as well.
Yeah, because Brave Bird can be like, recoil can be a little bit worrisome sometimes. And with Wish and Healing Wish, you can recover it.
Yeah, it's good for like Dragonite as well, because with Heavy Duty with Dragonite you have to like recover its more scale back up.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like he might want to run Dragonite more defensive in a few matchups.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the play.
Yeah, that may happen.
I'm done.
Yeah, I think we covered everything about this thing.
Yeah.
Well, next we have Hydra, coach of the FC Might ENS. Our first European on that list. Because on his team he has Landoi, Broken Wash, Weedwell, Mega Heracross, Jirachi, Superior, Aromatisse, Colossal, Garbata, Dracovish, Gothorita, Wigglytuff. Kind of odd to see a Landoi this far down the list, to be honest, but I honestly feel like his top 4 picks are like amazing, like one of the best on the whole list. But honestly, everything he drafted from Heracross on are just kind of odd.
Yeah, I think Jirachi can be a little good. Can put in the work for his team because it's super versatile still. But everything else like seems super out of place.
Yeah.
Like he's thinking back quite a bunch because of his early picks, but then his support options for those months like are not the best. Especially that late Dracovish. I don't see much.
For sure.
I don't see
like. Do you think Dracovish can be good, especially this is really just for matchups well, and matchups in which there is no one that can just no water absorb one. It just works really well, but it's also nice in forcing that one that has the water absorb to come. But I feel like every role that Dracovish has in his team was already fulfilled by the top few picks. Like Mega Heracross and Landoi, there's nothing in the role these two don't break. And Dracovish just seems like something that doubles down on that for no good reason at all.
Yeah, and it's like I think it's like 14, 13, I don't remember how many points it was, but it's a considerable amount of points. So
It's 13 points.
yeah, I think he could have definitely spend those points on something else that fit the draft a little bit better.
Yeah.
Like, he drafted the Aromatisse, like, actually super early. He drafted, I think that's round 7. And then Colossal, also really early pickup. And I assume he was just planning for the Draco-ish Gofarita core. But I don't really see the point in drafting that. Like, nice, sure, but anything this core does was already fulfilled by the top mods. I do have to say for the Gofarita though, there's a lot of knockoff mods on this team. Like you have Lando Eye, Weavile, Mega Heracross, Superior that like running your knockoff, and then the Gofarita can just come in after a potential Shed Shell is knocked off and take care of that one, or maybe even sweep with a Cosmic Power set.
Yeah. And he also has like a trick in Groton and Jirachi, so that can also help.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I do think it's a nice team for the Gofarita potentially, but I still don't think it justifies using the 18 points on that core. I also want to say that I think his hazard options are quite nice. Lando Eye and Jirachi and Colossal are like really, really good with rockers.
Yeah, and you pair that with...
As well as him having...
Sorry?
He also has nice spikes options on the Heracross and the Colossal.
And Garbodor.
Yeah, Garbodor as well,
really
yeah.
Appreciate. Yeah, and the Garbodor as well, like that. I feel like his team really appreciates the hazard support because against mons like Lando Eye and Mega Heracross, after other mons take hazards, they just die. And like handling those two together is really hard for any opposing team, especially if there's hazards on the field.
Yeah. Like at least for Gotarita, like the team's like working really good for me, I think, because of the knockoff, the trick, several hazard mons that can all make certain. They can make your opponents have to decide between boots and lefties and Shed Shell, so it can be a little bit. It has some potential at that point, and like
Right.
that's what I meant with that. And also Wigglytuff, because Wigglytuff has access to Frisk as an ability, so you can easily have some scouting beforehand. Although Wigglytuff is not coming every week, but when it comes, it can help with that.
Well, another big problem this team has is that is Aromatisse and Wigglytuff are fucking dog shit. This is my choice of words there.
Wigglytuff is more like if you take on a pole, is there you have something for pole, I guess. So it's more just...
Yeah, exactly. So like I think Hydra just drafted the rest of his team, and then he was like, damn, I don't have my only ghost resistance Weavile, and Weavile doesn't switch in on ghosts. Let's draft Wigglytuff, but the problem is Wigglytuff, it's the eater, so whenever he faces a ghost type, he's probably the back foot already at the start of the game, as well as he struggles a lot against them. If he faces like just think about it, if he faces like a Gengar, what does he do against just a life offset of Shadow Ball, Sludge Wave?
Yeah.
Basically, it comes in and flames one every time.
Definitely.
Yeah, when you draft Weavile, you need like a more defensive or just a handful. any ghost because you don't want to be your main ghost resist.
Yeah, you don't want Weavile to be your standalone dark most of the time.
Yeah, especially as well because you don't want to take a wisp as well on top of being hit by a ghost attack.
Yeah.
I feel like whenever you drop football, I'd rather have like a good normal type on the team, which isn't really something that was given here. Another thing that I feel like is that he forces like a lot of ones in certain roles. Like we already mentioned that his defensive backbone isn't really underwhelming. So I feel like Rotom Wash, usually Rotom Wash is just something that wants to pivot around. I feel like on this team he might be pressured to like be a dedicated waller of the time, especially since his removal isn't that amazing either. So Rotom Wash will want to run defog a lot of the time. This is a good defogger, but just like nasty plot, double stab, pain split sets are so good a lot of the time. And like superior with defog is like.
Yeah, although Rotom can still work quite well, even though the plot sets is really good. I think his the other sets that he used to run previous generations are still quite good. They haven't gone down in value.
Right, and another one that feels, for me, feels like it's going to be forced into certain roles a lot is Jirachi. A lot of the time, the Jirachi will want to be more defensive. It's like his main answer to psychic types.
Yes.
Like other reasons, obviously Weavile, which you don't want to switch on anything. And then he has Gothorita, which is both not coming a lot, and it's also not an amazing answer.
Yeah.
Then like Jirachi is a good answer, but then if it's defensive, it means can't be anything else. And then again, we said that it's like his main rocker as well, because Lantus doesn't always want to run rocks, and if it runs rocks, and then it also wants to run like good recovery, and so it might want to run Wish.
Yeah. Although I think
like
Super Rachi sets can be like really good because his physical offense is like really great already. So that
but that's exactly what I'm saying. I feel like if it could just be that really versatile mon, just run whatever sets it wants to, it would have been so much better. But it just will, in a lot of matchups, it will be forced into certain roles which it doesn't really want to have.
Yeah, your Jirachi's main thing is versatility, and you can't really do that, and it's kind of it depends though, because he has to potentially use other mons to run that, like cover its other roles. Because it does have like some stealth rockers like Colossal, which support Ramities, so they can cover that as well. It's just obviously, as you said, he may need to run it defensively because his psychic check answers are either Weavile or Gothorita.
But most of the time, his top mons will be enough to handle a lot of the teams though. So I think, all in all, I think he will be fine.
Yeah, I think he will bring to his matches. Most definitely, like top 4 will be in all matches, and then the last 2 he will have to toss between the others.
Depending on what he takes on.
I mean, I'm done.
Yeah.
Can I have the next one, Lucas?
Alright, so next one we have. Let me scroll. Alright, so we have PZZ and his team Seattle Sharpedos, and the monsters that he drafted are Mew, Mega Aerodactyl, Rotom Heat, Metagross, Swampert, Alolan Persian, Mismagius, Silvally, Vileplume, Clefairy, Machamp, and Florges. So
So basically, he drafted Florges, so I'll already call the team unviable.
Yeah, it seems like a weird pickup considering he got Clefairy already, so I don't know why. Because if he like if he like didn't have a fairy to begin with, I can
I think
somewhat
he actually
understand it.
drafted the Florges before the Fairy.
Oh, maybe.
It's just wrong on the rock here.
Okay.
Yeah, because this he had already made some trades, and at this time, the time that we were recording this, and we had to do some workaround. And
oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, he did drop the Florges, which was a very good decision.
I think Florges and Miss Magius are swapped in the order that he drafted.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But I mean, I think having both Florges and Clefairy does seem weird. I mean, Clefairy's good enough.
Yeah, I assume he drafted the Clefairy already with the intention to drop the Florges later on. But we ranked him right after the draft, so people not consider that.
Yeah.
So yes, it is weird to have both of them. I feel like his top 2 Monaco is quite insane. I think Mega Arrow is really good this gen. This DLC with the Wing Beat. Although I do feel like now that I got Wing Beat, some people overrate it, but I think these two together especially are like insane.
Yeah, even though Wing Beats misses more often than Dynamic Punch.
You know, Wing Beat was actually bugged for a while on Showdown. Accuracy was wrong.
I think 9% was in general bugged.
Yeah, but I think even to this day, like, it misses quite a lot.
Don't do the Jake, don't do the Jake.
Yeah, his top 5 mons are like generally good. Like Mew, Arrow, probably Metagross and Swampert.
Or he probably could have drafted another one instead of the Rotom Leaf, and I think it was very necessary.
I think it's a nice.
I do feel like.
I think it's a nice pick.
Definitely.
Especially, I don't know if it's like round 3 worth, but it's like really good too.
Yeah, but like the thing I'm worried about is that you'd say the top 5 ones are really good, but like the one weakness you definitely see immediately is the water weakness. His bulky water and Swampert is like doesn't resist water.
Yeah.
So like you'd think that afterwards he'd have to draft something that takes care of waters rather well. But then like throughout the whole draft, it's like he can run like Silver Grass or water, of course. But the other answer here is Wild Plume, which you don't want to bring to every game. And then if you really think about it, Silverly, there's like a lot of roles it wants to fill. It also sometimes wants to run just a normal, like normal type Silverly, because he's kind of weak to Ghost with Mew as his first pickup, and then he has personal lone version, of course, but a very optimal leader.
Yeah, you don't want to bring Dungeon that often.
Yeah, I feel like he noticed that his team is like weak to a lot of different typings, so he just decided to get Silvally that takes care of it all, but I feel like that just doesn't work that way. Silvally will be overworked for sure. There's just a lot of things that we'll want to do.
Yeah, yeah. With him on as versatile as Silvally is, you don't want to lock it into certain roles. I can definitely see that that worry that problem that you mentioned.
What I do have to say is that his hazards are like really amazing. Probably like the best we have seen until now. It's like his rockets are so plenty. It's Pert is one of the best rockets in the game. And like Metagross is a good rocker. He can run rockets on Clefairy. He can run rocks on Mega Aerodactyl. Then he has Mew, which can spike stack or rock or T-spikes if it wants to as well.
Yeah, he has really good hazard options, and not as many removals, I would say, because you don't want to get Mew and Arrow to be defogging.
I honestly feel like his defog gun is really good as well. He has Florges, which can defog. Well, if he won't anymore after transactions. At least at the moment, he has Florges to defog.
Yeah,
but can defog. He has Silverly, which can defog. He has Mega Arrow, which can defog. Which, like, all of them aren't like optimal defoggers, but there's so many that you can probably put defog on one of them.
Yeah, that is true. That is very much true. I don't think I would be, me personally, I don't think I would be using running defog on like 4 out of those 5.
Yeah, I think Roam here and Silvally, I'd say I'd probably run it. Maybe not the Alpha. Florges you'd want to be Cleric, Arrow would want to be more of a sweeper, and you try to be more of a free roll. Like it maybe I won't do for maybe once or twice, but you want it to be more like yourself sweeper, just to sort of run some demons or something.
Yeah. I agree.
I do have. I also really like speed tiers, which has Mega Arrow obviously has the super fast one, and then he just goes down and on in nice steps. If that makes sense. Like he has a low version, then
just Magius,
and then Mages, Mew. Come on.
And then Mew, Silverly, and then I think it drops to Rotom.
Yeah.
Which isn't like a very bad drop.
Yeah, it's like nice.
Yeah, but he has a lot of slow stuff like Clefairy, Florges, Vileplume, Swampert, Machamp, all of them are like quite slow.
Isn't that slow? I guess isn't that slow.
I think it's like 70.
Yeah, it's 75 base. That's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you obviously won't run it fast very often, but
yeah.
I do like his speed use a lot. All in all, it's just kind of underwhelming. His breakers are also kind of lacking. Although Machamp is a really nice low-tier option for a breaker. But
yeah, Machamp can like put in a lot of work, especially because Metagross, Mew are like luring some dark types. Machamp can take care of them.
Yeah.
But he'll struggle a little bit with psychic types, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure, he does struggle a lot against defensive psychics.
Yeah,
he has to like hope that his mages and Alolan Persian can take care of them, but like honestly they aren't really amazing options for that.
Alolan Persian you have to rely on, so it is a struggle. I think psychics and good sets can be probably like main threats to his team.
Yeah, defensive psychics and offensive fortis are like the main issues that this team has.
This is where like his survival as well needs to be used as well, like offensively to have his like he has to like shuffle between two roles, being defensively to handle the threats that just do work on them all, and like offensively like being like Dark or Ghost to take on other psychics and ghost types that you can't take as effectively.
Right. I generally feel like more than 6 months most of the time. Silverly is something he basically wants to bring to every game, and like his top 5 are really good and work well together, but then somewhere you have to make space for stuff like Vileplume, Machamp.
Yeah, in some matches you have to toss between like your main mons and something to cover a bigger track.
Like that's something. like something he might struggle with. It's generally a trend like really middle of the pack teams have. I mean like middling teams instead of top heavy.
Yeah.
Instead, you just never really. You just have to fill a lot of roles in every matchup, and sometimes you just have too many ones that where there is not one that can like overwhelmingly fill a few roles at the same time.
Yeah. I think this. I don't think we have much else to say, do we?
Yep, I think Palkia takes the next one.
Yes, so our next team is JP, coach of the SL Fanfinions. His team consists of Tornadostarian, Hydreigon, Infernape, Tangrowth, Mega Beetle, Excadrill, Blissey, Cursula, Illumise, Raichu, and Alamomola. So I mean, you look at his team to begin with, you see like all the regen, you think the Tornadostarian, the Tangrowth, Alamomola, it's got a good regen call.
Yeah.
And a lot of pivoting as well with like a lot of U-turners, teleporters, and Blissey. So
yeah,
he does have. So he does have like a lot of good points in that regen thing. But I think the main point we will discuss that potential weakness is that maybe potential lack of breakers in this team.
Yeah, like if you really look at it, he doesn't really have a way to break a wall. Like he has Tornadus Arian, obviously, which is like a fine breaker with Nasty Plot, but it's not quite reliable, especially if you need it to do work with Regenerator. Like in general, his defense is like he doesn't really have the most immediate answers to like all the typings. Like for example, flying types, he struggles a lot against them. Although I think like the low tier Raichu pickup was a really good way to help with that. But just in general, there's a few things he really struggles against. Also like fighting types, for example, and for that, I think he can like work around it if he just uses his regen ones well to scout.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about
like,
regen. You can like really scout. You can scout a lot more easily without it being as punishing if you get something wrong.
Yeah. Right, but that also means that Tornadus will have to be more defensive.
Yeah, definitely.
But as I just mentioned, it's his only way to break. Like he has also like Hydra, which is really good breaker. But
you also have to you look at his team as well. You like, as we said, he's like got noble weaknesses to like rock, fairy, and flying. And like one of the mons that does cover those is like extra. So the problem is you may have to use the extra like defensively just to take those hits because of that as well, which can be annoying.
I feel like it's a nice utility mon here. It also gives him the spin because, which is also another thing. His hazard removal really sucks. Yeah, it's kind of fine because he has Tornadus and Tornadus, which is like the best defogger in the game, honestly. Maybe besides Zapdos. And then Drill, which is like the best spinner. So he'll be fine between those two. But again, I feel like Torn most of the time will want to be more offensive set with Nasty Plot, while Drill have to resort to I do think that Drill will have to resort to the utility, more defensive sets of like Rock, Spin, maybe Toxic.
I don't think Torn can be. I was saying that I don't think that Torn would mind losing Nasty Plot or not running Nasty Plot in certain matchups, because he has so many Nasty Plotters like Tornadus, Hydreigon, Infernape, even Cursor and Raichu can have Nasty Plot. So I think the special breaking.
That's true.
I think
he's really good on the special breaking side. So I don't think Thorn can be as worried about as not running nasty plots in certain matches.
But like honestly, yeah, until matchups show, I don't think it should ever be forced to run nasty plot. I feel like if it's forced to run nasty plot, it's just a really big issue for the team. It just means the team is that bad. But I feel like Hydra obviously is an insane breaker.
Yes, it
round
is.
2, I believe. It's really amazing this gen. But if your opponent has like a good fairy that can take care of it like rather well, even just something like a pocket tick.
Yeah. But even then, you can just
like,
U-turn out and bring something else.
But that's exactly what I'm saying, because if it's more of a pivot, you don't really have another way to break. Because like Nape is something that you'd probably rather want to like do stuff late game. And you have Mega B-Drill, but that's also something that I only likes to act more the late game. Same goes for Drill. You just don't have that immediate power that I feel like a team in Gen 8 has to have because of no Z. I think it was Gen 7, and you could have like just put a Z-Stone on Nape, and to Nape this sort of team would have been a lot better.
Yeah. Although I think he can pull like some nice surprise KOs with Cursola. Because last season he used it in speed boost and he like put in mad work. I think he even got like the Underdog MVP award, if I'm not wrong.
That might have.
Yeah, JP knows how, definitely has experience to using Cursola.
In general, I feel like though his game plan is quite obvious. I feel like he can't be really versatile in his game plan. Like he has to use the region to like scout and pivot around it, then like clean up the team with Nape or Mega B-Drill. Like isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I don't think it's that hard to prep for this team. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I can agree.
With this type of team, you have to like play the long game, because with the regen, you're gonna take quite a while just to sort of break it. But it is more game like when you take on JP, it's gonna be a long sort of game, like a drawn out game.
Yeah.
So with regen, like, even like the wish support like Lucy and Alamomola provide.
Yeah, JP definitely needs to know how to play the long game, the patient game, for the team to put in some work. I think it can work without the defensive mons, like because his offense is like quite good, but he wants to win certain matchups. He definitely needs to know how to use his walls patiently.
I feel like the thing he might struggle with especially is like the really top mons, breakers. Like if he faces like a Mega Diancie, like sure he has regen to like scout around, but move list is gonna be like 60 every time, whatever mon he faces. Like I feel like it's just something he's gonna struggle with a lot. He doesn't really have first foremost answers to that.
Yeah, and even some strong fighting types can be quite worrying for him. Like Urshifu.
In general, I also like
Urshifu
and Dragapult also is like another top mon. He doesn't really take off, although Dragapult beats every team, so.
Dragons as well, because he has no fairy, like his only dragon is just his next control.
Well, that's also something I want to say is that, like in general, special mons is just hard for him to take care of, unless he uses the Blissey, and Blissey is something you can Well, I generally feel like Blissey is the one that you can generally abuse very easily.
Yeah, it can
like
be abused. It can
draft
definitely be.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm not sure. I think Blissey plus Cursula is something else I drafted last season.
I remember Cursula, but I don't remember Blissey.
I think he had a Lamisa. I think Cursor and Lamisa are just ones that just like to draft. I think you were talking, but when we were looking at before, and you said that chronically enough, a good one that would actually make it seem much better would be like DGBA over Cursor.
I see.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like Blissey and Cursula just kind of do the same job on this team and struggle against the same things. So just don't really see why you drop both of them. I feel like Cursula is another answer to like good fighting types, and just in general would have made much more sense than Cursula. Light would make more sense than Cursula. Excuse me. Although Illumina, funnily enough, Illumina is kind of a nice pickup on this because, as we said, he does struggle against strong fighting types, and Illumina is the defensive fairy that can kind of take care of them. Obviously not very well though.
Yeah, another surefire see it coming a lot, considering like its main like role is a wish crosser, but he only has two like much better wish crosses.
Yeah.
In that case, I'll continue with the next team, and that is the BT Umbrians, coached by the one and only JJ Gulls. Quite the veteran in the community. Has been around for ages. His team is Megalioncy, Necrozma, Keldeo, Raikou, Salamence, Sarud, Klefki, DGBA, Salazzle, and Ninjask.
Well, first thing is that this team is like holy fast. Oh my god.
Yeah.
We usually don't see teams that these lowest mons like Klefki, and even that's like it doesn't count because of Prankster.
Yeah, 75. Yeah, that's 75.
Yeah,
but like that's also partially a downside because it means it could be Trickle weak. It could be like Trickle could be.
Yes.
I think most of the time it's not going to be too important to be Trickle weak.
Yeah, Trickle can be a little bit of problem for him. But not many teams have that option.
That's what he could.
Yeah, it's also usually something you can play around.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
I think his offense is really amazing. I think Megalioncy is like a really insane mon. Gen 8. It just spams really easily, and I feel like Necrozma is like probably the best one to pick you can get with it reliably. Necrozma is broken, bro. It can run. It's like the first 2 months can reliably always get up rocks if they want to, and they don't necessarily have to either. Yeah. But on this team, probably one of them will always run rocks because you already have other options for rocks. And the Klefki as like not a fairy, I think it works really well with the Megalioncy because it's always not the best defensive fairy. Like both of them are like not the best standalone fairies in my opinion, but together they work really well. I also like the spike support Klefki gives to the team.
Yeah. Salazzle is what works well with Megalioncy, just because it can take the stereotypes that it's probably going to struggle with, plus like some steel and poison types and toxic types, so it works well with Megalioncy as well in that aspect, isn't it?
In general, I feel like it's a very hyper offensive team.
Yeah, definitely is. With screens, spikes, and multiple self-tap options. It definitely is very hyper-offensive oriented.
Like his most defensive ones are like Necrozma and Salamence and Zuru.
I think his mons work together like fine. Like individually, I just don't think his mons are very convincing. Like Salamence, Raikou, Kelia are like 3 mons in order, in my opinion. That I don't know. I think, in my opinion, all 3 of them are very amazing.
Yeah.
I don't like Raikou at all. I think most of the time when there's a good ground type, even with Scald, you're forced to just run sub-talks. Like that's something that just what everyone can do.
Yeah.
Awful, but it's amazing. I don't think it really fulfills at all. I feel like he just kept the team as it is, but like these round 3 to round 5 picks kind of organized them differently. Like this team could have potential to be one of the best men teams on the board. But like as things stand, he just struggles against a lot of opposing offense. And obviously as a hyper offensive team, I feel like he really has to commit to it. Like his defensive options aren't very existent. He can run like defensive mens if he wants to, but I feel like it's gonna be
that will kill his momentum.
Yeah, right. But it's not bad doing that.
I think I definitely can win a lot of matches because some teams don't have options for that many offensive threats at once.
I mentioned a few teams before too that like struggle against Mega Diancie especially.
I think every team struggles against Mega Diancie. There's
to some extent for sure.
There's not much you can do against it.
It usually struggles with like deep poison deals, so there's not much ones that can really take hits from Mega Diancie. Especially now that it gets Mystical Fire.
Yeah. You need to pivot around like on some resisted hits in order to get in a certain amount that can scare it away.
But this team is just a lot of matchup fishing. Like if your opponent can't handle the offense, you just win. Like if your opponent has like ways to out offense you and like handle your offensive threats, check them somewhat well, I feel like he's gonna struggle a lot. Say that some things, like some weaknesses he has, like especially.
I think that the most glaring one is Fairy. Because his only fairy resist is Salazzle, and that's...
And Klefki.
Also Klefki.
Yeah, Klefki, yes. But neither are... I mean, his entire team is like no bulk, but... neither can be rather threatening to certain fairies. I know Salazzle like has poison stab, but not often it can do the job because most fairies are like quite bulky.
Yeah, right. You have something like a Mega Momo just kind of clicks play rough, and there is not that much you can do against it. Like Salazzle still takes probably over half by play rough, even though it resisted 4 times. And like Klefki, you can just run like Fire Fang for it. Well, I thought you could probably just SD Iron Head. There's not that much that Klefki can do. Although obviously it does have foul play.
Yeah, I think that's really the main Klefki option. Unless you like want to commit with a Iron Offensive,
I think
Iron Defense calm mindset.
I think this is definitely one of the teams with the most potential from the. I feel like from all the teams we've mentioned so far, it's the team with the most potential that we have. I also it's like some of the teams we're still going to mention, even though they are high on the draft board. I feel like this team is something that can do better than those. But I feel like JJ really has to manage to out-offense his opponents rather than try to check his threats or something. Like really commit to the hyper-offensive game style.
I can definitely see that happening.
It's a very straightforward team. Like, we'll expect the hyper-offensive draft style, play style, and it's something that is going to be expected in the games as well. Just wonder, I'm kind of interested how his opponents will prep for the team. Like, a lot of people might struggle crafting in the deck and like prepping against this kind of team, because it's something that isn't really seen often these days.
Yeah, it's like it's been a long time since I last saw a strictly hyper-offensive team being drafted. It's like at least 2 years, I think.
Well, I saw it there and there, but this is definitely something that's not rare these days.
Yeah, and standard intimidators, yeah. Usually, like, it'd be mostly maybe, and then you have a few rules just to back it up.
I think we can move on then.
Yeah.
Moving
on.
We'll move on to his team name.
So next we have Glop, and his team name as being Glop is Plop. I think definitely one of the most fun team names to say. But his team is Zapdos, Zygarde 50, Greninja, Scizor, Celebi, Galarian Weezing, Pichu, Mienshao, Cryogonal, Mega Camerupt, and Lycanroc Midnight Formation Superioration.
I love. Yeah, the Lycanroc Midnight Formation. I love how you said P2, by the way.
The first thing that I noticed. But the first thing that I noticed about his team, like, it's Glop and he has only one regen mon, so like he's instantly in trouble.
Unviable. He can't get.
Yeah, if he had JP Sing, he would be a lot better.
This is unviable. Glop can't carry it by his regen mons, so therefore he's definitely gonna do that way. Checking.
Wow.
What else can? No, I think the team is mostly fine. I think from here on, the team is like their weaknesses aren't quite as obvious as we've mentioned so far. Well, maybe they're not as obvious, but I feel like these are definitely weaknesses that you can overcome and prep and play. And Glop is definitely one that a player that has proven that he can. That his quality of play is good enough to be able to grow over these weaknesses.
Yeah.
But, so the first thing that you definitely notice is the Greninja is only water, so he doesn't have a bulky water.
Yeah, that's it.
But if you look at it, his only answer to water types, offensive water types, is Celebi.
Yeah, Celebi can be quite good because it is quite bulky.
Yeah.
And it has access to recover, so it's not as pressured.
But then again, if it's a water type of turn, if he faces like a Manaphy. Manaphy?
I mean, Manaphy is more defensive these days anyway.
Oh, you can run it offensively fine.
Yeah.
Definitely feel like Celebi will be forced to be defensive a lot of the time, and Celebi is, first of all, it's someone that would like to have the option to go offensive as well, because it's one of the other like 100 base stats all around.
I think he can
has 100
spare
base stats all around board, and it's like usually has enough options to be both offensive and defensive, but this team definitely forces it into the defensive position. I feel like it might be just kind of overloaded because aside from water types, also if you look at his ground resists, you have Zapdos, obviously, but Zapdos doesn't really beat ground types either. And then you either have to rely on your like Levitate ones and Weezing and Biogener, or you just have to use Celebi. But I feel like but he does have the Porygon 2, and Porygon 2 is both, of course, is insane. So I feel like just with P2 he can soft check one's good enough, like able to check them and handle the game otherwise.
Yeah, his bulk is quite nice.
Yeah, but he's got quite a bit.
I can agree with that. Like, but yeah, he can be a little bit. He can be pressured a little bit sometimes, depending on the matchup.
Right. I feel like also Dragon types is also another thing he struggles against. If he faces like a Dragapult, well, again, any team struggles against.
Yeah, a lot of teams Dragapults good for a reason. So yeah.
But like his answers are Weezing and Scissor. His resist anyway. Like he has the P2 obviously to take care of that specifically, but in general, special dragons, he just doesn't really have great answers to that because Weezing is the special defense of Weezing is really nothing amazing, and then Scissor also is especially weaker than maybe in the physical department, and I just feel like he might get very. I feel like P2 is gonna be something that is gonna be. It's definitely gonna come every game, and there's gonna be something that's gonna be pressured a lot to fill a lot of roles.
I think he can use Cryogonal to check those special threats that you're mentioning, because Cryogonal is like surprisingly special bulk.
Yeah, it's got a lot of special bulk.
Yeah, but it also has access to recover and stuff like knockoff.
In my opinion, Cryogonal just is a very, very underwhelming one.
Yes, but it can put in the work. It even has access to haze if you're struggling against a setup mon. I can definitely see it being used.
No, of course, but it is something you can take care of, like because it doesn't have anything to touch steels, so it gets into what's the free switching for steel types.
Yeah,
and also fighting type switching, but pretty easily as well. Those two are types you can handle with Zapdos especially.
Yeah.
I like his removal for sure. I think his removal is very good. But
his stealth rock is like Celebi, Cameron, again, like rock, which is kind of sort of underwhelming. Like my Cameron will usually want stealth rocks, but like I say, you don't like with Celebi, you want to free it from that just so it can run like just because it will have more mess, and also Lightning Rock. I don't necessarily see coming every week. If not
exactly. I feel like his rockets are kind of lacking. He has Gren and Galar Weezing to have nice toxic spike support as well. There's also spikes with him, which can be nice, especially if he wants to sweep with Zygarde. But Zygarde isn't what it used to be. Rest types can usually handle it fine. Although I do have to say, I think he drafted his offense really well around each other. Like Scissor and Weezing take care of most grasses. Mega Channel is a surprisingly good breaker on this team. Looks like everything Zygarde struggles with. Well, not everything, but takes a lot of it.
Speaking of Mega Camo, I quite like Pichu plus it, because Pichu is like a quite bulky trick room setter that has access to momentum. So it can be really good to bring in Mega Cameron and like help it break stuff.
Every time you say P2, I think you're saying Pichu. At first.
I'm gonna say Porygon too.
No. You keep saying Pichu. That's funnier that way. No.
This you've done. But yeah, I think Mega Town will be like a probably like a very pivotal role because it is one of his like best immediate breakers on the team, and it does help. Like I say, it helps with Zygarde to go through the grass types and can form a nice core with P2. So I can see it being like definitely very like you'll be probably bring that quite a bit more often than you expect.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like Love is someone who can make his team work. But there's some issues with the team. Like I feel like his defense can be taken advantage of, and if that happens, he's gonna struggle against some things. But definitely close to being in the top half of teams. Unfortunately, did not quite make it.
He's not far off, but
yeah.
Yes.
As we said before, like the teams are like quite close together. Like the difference.
Yeah, especially around here.
Yeah, especially around the middle of the pack. Yeah.
That's not everything I want to say.
Yeah.
Unless you have something else.
Yeah.
I think we touched everything.
Well then, Palkia.
Yep, our next coach is Fizzle, coach of the Oakland Rose Raiders. His team consists of Mega Tackle, Ferrothorn, Seismitoad, Obstagoon, Nihilego, Moltres, Uxie, Azumarill, and Regigigas.
I call it Gen 7 the team.
Yeah, see.
I can see someone not a fan of Gen 8.
Yeah.
He's got Obstagoon.
Yeah, he has Obstagoon, and he also has Regigigas, which is obviously wasn't seen that much in Gen 7, but
neither was Moltres. Moltres
was still drafted once in a while. Like the
Yeah.
other ones were more expensive, so it still could be something else. But I feel like Moises said that because I feel like the style of the team is very Gen 7-ish.
Yeah.
Like you have okay, the thing is his only real breaker is Obstagoon, right?
I can say
like he has
that.
Mega Gallade, which can sort of break, but it's not something that it's gonna do reliably every game. I feel like Obstagoon is just I mean, I've seen people use it a lot. I use it myself as well, and in general, I always seem just very underwhelming. It doesn't exactly do the job that it looks like it's going to do.
You typically pair with like a nice Ghost Breaker, because when you like pair with like some like Pole or like Gengar, it does do a lot of work to like the stuff that want to switch it, that can switch in on it, or like a Psychic type one as well.
Yeah, I can definitely see Obstagoon breaking for him.
Yeah, but I feel like it's not gonna do so reliably. And I just feel like as team it would make so much sense if it had Z moves again.
Yeah.
Like Z Coco. That's why I said it looks a lot like a Gen 17. It just looks like it would appreciate Z moves so much. Without Z moves, like he's gonna have trouble breaking some walls. Although it additionally has like Arrow, just had spikes, and then he has really good rockers and Toad and Nihilego. I feel like his hazard game could be
Even Uxie as well.
Yeah, I feel like he has really good hazards that can help him against most defenses.
Yeah. One thing that I really like about his team is that he got another water type with Azumarill, so you don't have to throw it against Scalds. because that's the main problem with physical water types. You don't usually want them to be your skull switching, and having Seismic Totem for a turn for that's like super smart in my opinion.
Right. Although opposite to his Hello Tele, I feel like his removal is a bit lacking. Like Moltres is probably gonna run defog every time it comes.
Yeah.
That's not something that's gonna come to every game, and then
Yeah.
Poker is a defogger, which is his only other options, I believe.
Yes. It's only those two.
Yeah, Coco doesn't really want to run defog, although can utility Coco, especially after I lost Aeraf and like bad. I really feel like after lost player off, people kind of underrate Coco. Like a lot of people say it should be like 15 points, but it's so it's one of the best enablers in the game. It gets in like you can get in like really good threats, and like the utility sets are good too. Like in some matchups, Coal Mine goes crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it still has store power, so Common store power can be a pretty naughty to take on.
Yeah, and you can even pair add the electric seed to get another boost for the set as well.
I think another thing looking at this team is like his physical breakers are amazing, like his Mega Gallade, Azumarill, and Obstacle, but like I think he doesn't have much on the special side. I think he's made to be relied on the Hiligo.
Yeah, I mean Moltres can somewhat be used with like Hurricane, but I do feel like I would appreciate like another special breaker a lot. Yeah, another special breaker.
I think he's a bit fine. Moltres, Coco, and Nihilego can all put in the work.
Right.
Even though Nihilego nowadays is more like a sweeper, I think.
Yeah.
But lastly, I still want to mention that it's very ground weak. Like his only way to take care of grounds, like Pharaoh can sometimes take care of grounds, but it's obviously not a resist. And then you have Moltres as an immunity, but most ground types still beat Moltres.
Yeah, because they have access to Rock Slide or Stone Edge.
Yeah.
And then you have
Edge Quake or something. Like Pharaoh is sort of fine, but something that's gonna work amazingly. Especially since it doesn't have very reliable recovery outside of Fleet Seat, and it's something you can definitely play against.
Yeah, okay, you can bring a grass type against Ferrothorn to prevent some like to prevent Leech Seed. So it can be worked around, you can play around that, but
I do think Goon is a nice breaker on this team because like the bulky psychics for Mega Gallade psychics that Mega Gallade struggles with, and like Azumarill I also think is really amazing on this team. Of grounds that Coco struggles against. Like the thing he probably struggles against the most are like grass types. Then he has Moltres and Nihilego.
Yeah, he has empty grass.
Yeah, so I feel like his offense works really well together, but I still feel like another breaker would be something he would appreciate.
Yeah, another special.
Definitely.
Like specifically
Yeah. So special breaker.
Physically, he's really good as a protein, but like especially could use one more.
Right. It's a nice team. It takes care of like most weaknesses it could have around. I just feel like in practice it's not quite gonna work out. Like enough to make it one of the very top teams.
Yeah, I think he could have at least tried to get something else other than Regigigas. Because like I don't, even those like really low points.
I think release is fine, to be honest, because especially since his only other ghost, like his ghost answer was Obstagoon, and Obstagoon doesn't really like switching in a lot, especially since like it with hazards and flame orb, it just gets chipped very quickly. But it obviously still can switch in, but like Regigigas as another option is definitely nice.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, we probably talked about everything that we had to do for the team, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it's a very basic team in general.
Yeah. One that really misses Z crystals.
Crazy moves.
I do think it looks like a Gen 17 a lot.
Yeah. So, moving on?
Moving on to the Arsenal FC. Probably butchered the name, I'm not quite sure. Coached by Bibano. On his team has Dragapult, Celesteela, Mammothswine, Sylveon, Tentacruel, Gliga, Berlin, Mesprit, Braviary, Electivire, and Mega Absol. So this team has Dragapult, therefore it's broken. I think we can move on.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, Pulse just Dragapult. It's just yeah. But looking at his other team, he definitely has some like good hazard control. Not quite a few defocus instead of Gligon. There and Braviary to an extent. So and you know, Mammothswine as well does go well in the team.
I feel like his removal is kind of lacking. It's not that great, but I feel like also have the magic bounce on Mega Absol. I feel like with that, like it's obviously scary to switch it in most of the time. But if you just do the offensive play, I feel like it's kind of fine. Because rockers are definitely good though. I feel like Memo and Mesprit can... Memo, Mesprit, Gliga can... Next time. Steeler coming in, making it all the way back is of course quite surprising, in my opinion. But I can see it. I feel like Gen 8 Steeler really isn't that great. It's a shadow of what it used to be. Like it's expensive, just it really isn't that amazing anymore. And Leech Seed, Protect. Still a good set for sure, but if you expect it, it's something you could play around again. Play around with.
I think like weakness policy still can still work to an extent, but
if your opponent doesn't expect it, sure, but I feel like people should always prep for something like that. So
yeah, because it's like the best set it has nowadays. It's even lefties with Leech and Tact, or it's like weakness policies, like the two main things it does nowadays, I think.
I actually seen like a live op Celesteela, which I thought was quite cool. Let's back in Clash of Kings. So, there's definitely some creators. You can definitely get someone creative with offensive sets, but also like Metronome. That used to be cool set before Metronome got nerfed, but can still work.
Well, before they found out how Metronome worked.
Yeah.
Well, it's something that very early after that. You do have a point.
We have said before that Tentacruel's like a little bit pressure sometimes to do some certain stuff.
Alright,
because
if you look at
it's like his main water switching, and like because Dragapult doesn't want to switch in, neither does Breloom, so and
Same for that. Good also because it's also his only fire resist. Besides Dragapult, and Dragapult he doesn't want to switch in most of the time.
Yeah.
So
even
like,
though
Tentacool is
even
really
though
pressured as a wall.
yeah, you can. It is quite bulky if you invest right, but sometimes it can take it all by itself.
Yeah.
You
I
usually
think
can
it
counter
will-
like 1 and 2 mons with Tentacruel, but beyond that, it's starting to be a little bit more troublesome.
Yeah. Heavy types
I
are
think
also another thing you can't struggle against if Celesteela doesn't handle them well enough. If it's like a Mega Maw.
Yeah, especially because Maw has coverage for it.
Although you can sort of check that with Liga as well. So
Yeah.
you can like check things in other ways as well.
Yeah. I think his team will rely on like the wish support from Sylveon to help to keep it healthy, as well as the healing wish from Aspirant as well. Just to like recover. So I think like them two mods will be helpful just to keep the longevity of the team throughout.
In general, if you look at a way that Tentacruel seems to have to fulfill a lot of roles, his defense works really well together. Like, aside from that, Gliga, Celesteela, are two really good defensive ones, and then Mass Spirit and Tentacruel itself, and Sylveon. Sylveon giving the wish support to the Celesteela.
Yeah, that seems really good.
Also, the Braviary, if your fate's a really good ghost type, it's fine to handle that.
Yeah.
I like the Braviary in this team.
And I can see him having some like status spam for Dragapult. With many of his moms learning Toxic, he has access to Toxic Spikes, T-Wave, and summon them. Yeah, so he definitely helped Dragapult a bit with that. And he also has momentum to bring Dragapult in safely. So pass on pass, U-turn, Volt Switch.
I mean, yeah, somewhat. Could be more, but it could be less, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
One thing I feel like it's weird is that he drops the Dragapult, and then usually with Dragapult, like a core that was used for a lot of time. Generally, is Dragapult Mega Medicham. It's quite good because Mega Medicham can take care of like.
Before.
Oh yeah. It's generally drafted a lot earlier nowadays.
Yeah.
Especially, but that's just because the trend developed that Mega Medicham quite good this gen.
Yeah.
But before like the trend really developed, it's something that got drafted a lot. I feel like while you do have Sylveon to take care of most stocks, it's like, especially if you wanted to wish pass to Celesteela, you just can't be that offensive, and I feel like aside from that, for fairies, then you have the Steela, but it would be more better to have something that puts on more offensive pressure. If you had like if you had another stronger bulky water instead of Tentacruel and then another poison, that maybe would be more offensive and would be better for the team overall, because it doesn't really threaten fairy types that amazingly.
Well, he has
Although it's
access
still
to Flash
Celesteela,
Cannon and Heavy Slam, so I think it still can.
Yeah, Celesteela is still fine for that, and Sylveon is fine for breaking box. So just nitpicking at this point, really.
Yeah, I can see. Another thing that we mentioned is that he struggles a little bit breaking through bulk psychics besides Dragapult.
I mean, you also have the Mega Absol.
Yeah, I think that's the main reason he got Mega Absol, because otherwise relying on breaking through Poke Psychics only with Dragapult wouldn't be that optimal.
I feel like Memo and Sylveon can probably still do well against Psychic type. I don't think it's that tough. I really like it. I like a lot of things. I also like the Electricity Wire as a flying resist because otherwise you'd be very weak to flying.
Yeah. His only resist would be Celesteela, so yeah, I can. That is a good pick. Though could still have grabbed something a little bit better than Electivire, I think. I don't remember what was available around that point value.
One thing I do have to say is that I feel like his knockoff switch-ins aren't really nice. Because Balloon, but other than that, it's kind of weak. Like if he faces like a Weavile, it's something he's gonna struggle with. He doesn't really have a good Weavile switching at all.
I think itemless Tentacruel can be that switching.
Excuse me, what one?
Itemless Tentacruel.
Itemless Tentacruel. Well, you still have Psycho Cut and knockoff.
Oh yes. I forgot about Psycho Cut. It's just not something that I'm not using. It's not like.
But then again, would be just another. Oh yeah, we forgot to say that earlier, but he's very ice weak.
And that's why we mentioned that Tentacruel is like a little bit pressured.
Yeah, it has to kind of take care of fire, water, and ice types all at the same time. Tentacle is kind of filled with a lot of defensive roles, and that's like the main issue with this team.
Yeah, I would grab like something, another bulky water instead of Braviary, and I think this team will be that the point would be.
I do like Braviary in this team because it takes care of ghosts. Otherwise, it'd be very ghost weak.
Yeah, that is true as well.
I still feel like you'd probably want another bulky water or something else to do those things specifically. Maybe a fire type. Maybe something like Canyon. I don't know. Canyon will probably be fine.
Yeah, okay. Those issues.
Yeah. Definitely that's one of the problems. Well, I think to sum it all up, we can say that Dragapult is broken. Therefore, this team is broken as well.
Might as well just put it as number one then.
It's basically number one, but we need to make it more interesting and make the Dragapult team one every time.
Yeah, it's the symbolic number one.
Exactly. Well, you see what's number one as well. I'd say that cheese is quite number one. At least for me, for breakfast. Cheese is always great. And speaking about cheese, it also ties in into the next coach we have to talk about. It's someone who unfortunately is not quite as cool as Cheese.
Yeah, he had to add some Z's on his name. So therefore he's not as good as Cheese.
Yeah.
So we have Cheese and his team Michigan Manatrix. And the team that he drafted is Garchomp, Megalop, Heatran, Gengar, Slowking, Tsarina, Primarina, Buzzwole, Spiritomb, Rotom Fan, and Butterfree. So...
maybe I understand that's how he wants to have his name pronounced. Does the last Z have to have more?
Yeah, I think you have to put some emphasis. But in all seriousness, he seems like quite scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially because he has a Tsarina, and we all know what happened last season. We all know that there is a certain Poison Point coach that doesn't like Tsarina.
Indeed. In general, he has Garchomp as his first pick, and Garchomp in this gen is like really insane. He also has access to Scale Shot. The Scale Shot is like insane. There's in fact already been one match where he pretty much destroyed his opponent with the SD Scale Shot set.
Yeah. If you weaken your opponent's team correctly, Garchomp can easily win you with Scale Shot like in 2 steps, or it can seriously weaken your team if you don't pay attention. So early on, so.
Yeah. So I would generally suggest paying attention during your Mons games. That seems like a very good idea. I think his offense works really well together. Like parry types that Garchomp and Megalope might struggle against. He takes care of with Heatran and Gengar, and then Bulky Psychics as well. Gengar takes care of rather well. But then Primarina also just could probably kind of take care of these ones. Are like mostly checked by Primarina offensively, I mean. And just there's all like that. His offense doesn't really have any holds. The only holds I can see, I feel like it can just break about every mon in one core.
Yeah, I think they complement each other very well. Like,
yeah, exactly.
There's
poison types, maybe poison types for Megalope, but then again, there's the Garchomp that takes care of that.
Yeah, Garchomp.
I feel like this is probably a team with one of the best offense games in Poison Point.
Yeah, definitely. And it also has a very nice defensive game because Heatran and Buzzwole alone, that core is like super good together.
Exactly, and the only struggle Heatran Buzzwole really has is maybe like
water types.
Water types, and then Slowking takes care of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And soon it will
I feel like look more into that, then there's some problem we start to notice that. First of all, his rockers. Garchomp is definitely the best rocker in the game, and Heatran too. So I feel like he will get rocks up every game, because one of them can always run rocks nicely. And both of them, if they have rocks, they are gonna get them up in the game.
Yeah.
So even though it's only 2 rockers, it's just 2 rockers that are always gonna get him up. I think his rockers are. But I feel like his removal is bad.
Yeah, removals. Yeah, it's like Serena and Rotom.
Yeah.
So I think he.
Butterfree.
I doubt he will end up bringing Butterfree that often.
Okay, chill. Do not disrespect.
No, I'm not disrespecting Butterfree.
No,
I just think that
Jesus
won't bring it that often.
True. Defogger, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be his check to all the offensive fighting types.
Oh my goodness.
It's a quad resist after all.
Yes, which is another thing I think is nice, by the way, because I feel like offensive fighting types, like the fighting psychics specifically, is something he struggles with a lot. would have struggled with
he
if
has a
didn't have the
Spiritomb though.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, like the Spiritomb on the team to take care of them.
I think his main thing is like ghost types, because his best is only ghost answers, his Megalophony.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He struggles against ghost types a whole lot. Like Megalopus is only switching, then his dark type is weak to ghosts as well. And he has like quite a few weaknesses. Well, not weak to ghosts. A dark type cannot be weak to ghosts, but it doesn't just ghost. Know what I meant?
Yeah, his dark type does not resist ghost. That's what you meant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel
that
like
can
if
be
he faces-
like really problematic. But I think he has
Yeah,
the
I feel
bulk to deal with that.
Yeah.
So
probably like-
honestly, I feel like he's quite. If he faces like the Spectre, he's gonna struggle a ton. Like
Yeah.
I don't really see what he does against him.
Yeah, maybe put some AV on something and call it and try from there.
Yeah.
Try. The other thing is that I feel like his fairy answers, while Heatran of course is a really amazing fairy answer, it's kind of limited to that, and both his fairy answers are also weak to ground type.
Yeah, that
So-
also plays some roles in that.
Yeah. So again, a team that probably just really struggles against Mega Diancie.
Mm-hmm.
And we also
mean,
mentioned
instead of-
the core. We also mentioned the core of Buzz Heatran, and it's a very nice core for sure, and I feel like it works most of the time. But Buzz is something that can be prepped against, and since it's like his main defensive backbone, Buzz is definitely something that can be prepped for. If you have like, obviously now that hidden power is gone, less so than it used to be, but still a lot of ones. Like, let's take for example if he faces a Terrakion. Like usually Buzzwole would be a primary answer, but Terrakion could just run as the AR Ace.
No, he
possibly
knows Air Slash nowadays, so
Yeah, even Air Slash could work well. So he might be forced to run something like Cobra Berry often than not.
yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, I feel like the thing that I consider very odd is that he has double water, which is like fine, but it kind of are just very similar. They're both specialty offensive and struggle against physical mons. I just feel like it's a little type doubling. Roll doubling, maybe. I mean, both are mons that work really well on his team. But it's still something. It's still quite similar.
Yeah.
Together.
Doubling up. I mean, doubling up sometimes like really good, but in this case, it's a bit weird, I think.
It's just not only typing doubling, but also like quite similar in other aspects as well. Like he's gonna have quite some fun playing against Ojilbina in having both Spectre and Jirachi.
Yeah. Yeah.
That sounds like a tough matchup for sure. Like,
Yeah. Looks like
offense just works well enough to win most matchups.
Sometimes it even looks like that Panda was counter team Cheez-Its.
Nice. Dude, and the only joined to get the team that counters cheeses and then dropped. Oh my goodness.
It is what it is.
Indeed.
Well, as we just talked about Serena, there's one particular coach in this Poison Point roster that probably has made a lot of very fun experiences with Serena.
Yeah.
Both might know that coach very well.
Yeah, he played in Swarm last season. I faced him, but he won Swarm, unlike me. So he's now in Poison Point.
Yeah,
And
we have
yeah,
in my opinion, the best German in Poison Point, coaches Jirachi. With Mega Sizzle, Latios, Nidoking, Mandibuzz, Milotic, Miltank, Whimsicott, Conkeldurr, Kofkrigus, Electros, and Reboot.
So, so the first thing that I see is like his first picks are incredibly good. Like he breaks so much stuff with his first picks that it's not even funny.
Yeah, in general, Nidoking is the best value mono draft. Nidoking is insane. There's not a single switch in the whole game for Nidoking.
Yeah, you can. If you predict right, you can really put in the work with it. It's also sheer strength. And couple that with Mega Scissor that can pivot into Summon and then bring Nidoking in safely with his low U-turn. It's like really good.
Yeah, also like Mega Sizzle and Latios are some of the best mons that currently exist in Gen 8.
Yeah, it's surprising that he managed to get both of them. And the Nidoking.
I mean, I saw that before. I feel like it definitely makes sense, the one that he has gotten. Like, he got any incredible steals. It just worked really well together. It's not something that it's not like the first time I've seen this. A few times.
Yeah, it happens from time to time. It really depends on what the other people wanted from the start.
Every single time I see this core, I think like, it's really insane. Actually. But like my first big complaint about the team are his rockets. He has Nidoking as a rocker, which is quite a nice rocker, although most of the time, a lot of the time it just wants to run Polus because you just kill stuff instead. And then his only other rocker is Miltank, which not only does not come to every game, it's also not the most amazing rocker.
It can be quite reliable. I've seen some people use Miltank to excellence, but other options are definitely very welcome. He has Toxic Spikes with Kofagrigus, but it doesn't affect. Toxic Spikes isn't as effective sometimes as Stealth Rock.
Yeah, you can often take care of Toxic Spikes. What I do have to say is that his defocus are amazing. He has like, what is it? I think 5 defocus and Latios, Mandibuzz, Mega Scissor, Whimsicott, and Conkeldurr.
Yeah.
And Whimsicott isn't that good as a defoker, but all other 4. Well, Latios doesn't really want to run defoc either, but the other 3 at least are very, very good at using defoc.
Yeah, I think he has like nice options for that. Yeah.
While his
and to the point that sorry?
You can go ahead.
I was saying that he has a good amount of options for removal that he can choose which one he wants to run removal.
Right.
It's like similar that as we spoke before for another thing that I right now just forgot the thing that we spoke about that, but the same situation, like you can definitely pick and choose which one you want to do certain stuff.
Right. Well, he doesn't have offensive headers. I feel like in this meta, where everyone can just run boots either way, like, not that awful not have good offensive hazards, and he has like offense that can like with Conkeldurr and Latios, he has like offense that works even without the hazards. Just pick the chaos.
Yeah.
Right. So defensively, there are some weaknesses.
Yeah.
But in general, I think he has taken care of it all. There's a lot of ice weak Pokemon like Latios, Nidoking, Manibus, all in order.
Yeah, but I think he managed to patch that with Milotic and Mewtwo.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in general, Mega Scissor is already one of the best ice resistors in the game.
Yes, exactly.
Especially with Full Punch. So I think it's fine still.
Yeah, definitely.
Most problematic for him is probably going to be Ghost, ground types.
I can see that.
Electro. He does have some odds.
Yeah, but exactly. He has he still has a decent counterplay to it, and
he definitely has some outs.
It'll definitely be problematic. Like
I don't know. Actually, thinking about it, Titus, he's probably actually going to struggle against the most flying type, since his steel type doesn't resist flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only.
But he would rely on Electros, basically.
Electros is a nice pickup. And
Yeah.
It's not like he's very weak to flying either. Like he has Conkeldurr and Whimsicott, which is kind of unfortunate. But I feel like
yeah, but Whimsicott, even
is
if
supposed to
it's a resisted hit, it's not really resisted hit because it's not that bulky. It can survive some certain hits, but Whimsicott's not that. It's not a standard for bulk.
Right. I feel like flying types are definitely something he's gonna struggle with, and something Electros might be burdened with. Like if he faces something like a Zapdos, he's just gonna offensive Zapdos with Hurricane and maybe like Volt Switch. Just something he's gonna struggle with a lot.
Yeah, I can see that.
I feel like Manibus takes care of most of them, like Hydra and Megapult. Manibus might be the best Megapult answer in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can definitely be.
And I suppose he would struggle against something like Hydra, but it's not like a weakness to the extent where it's like horrible and ruins the beam. Not much to say about this team. Just very nice offensive, works really nicely together.
Yeah, I think it's a very balanced team, I'd say. And he's got as his first three, well, Latios and Nido are very good offensively, and then he does have some backbone with like Manly, Milo, and Mewtwo, just to have some nice team ones there.
Yeah. If anything, I suppose he could kind of struggle against defensive psychic types as well, but he has a whole Mega Sizzle, so that should probably be fine.
Yeah, Mega Sizzle, and the Buzz, both pretty good.
Yeah, I think Mega Sizzle can like put in a lot of works on some matches, like especially those against those psychic types. Even though some of them nowadays learn Mystical Fire, so you have to be wary of that. So you have to like to pivot around certain stuff before safely bringing Mega Scissor.
Yeah, but I feel like it's probably fine, especially since there's Milotic, which can probably bounce off, sponge off most hits, and then just get momentum with the slow flip to him. If it is the slow one, that is. It's also Manibus, which can just U-turn out and pivot in. That's it for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's what we would say.
Do you have anything else to mention?
I think we can move on.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I
we
think-
talked
Yeah.
most that we can about this team. To
Moving on, we do with yeah, it's my turn, isn't it? I forgot. Manhattan
Yes.
Mantites, coached by Jeff. My bad. I'm sorry. There's a couple of Fiend, Medicham, Mega, Nidoqueen, the Arcanine, Bronzong, Noivern, Delmice, Tyranitar, Ordino, Doppler, and Palkia62.
this seems like definitely scary.
So, I think, funnily enough, it's like the opposite of like Brandon's team that you mentioned. I feel like individually, the ones like Mega Medi and Fundy are obviously really good ones, but like not the top of the top. Like, well, his individual ones aren't like the most amazing.
Yeah.
They just work really, really well together.
Mm-hmm.
And like take care of most weaknesses.
Yeah,
like if you look
definitely.
at the speed tiers, for example, there's like no holes in there. He has basically filled it all in nice steps. He has a really, really good breaker and Mega Medicham, and like for bulky psychics. He has Tyranitar to take care of them. He has and
Delmice.
has
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. If you just look at the team, it's just hard to say what he struggles against specifically. His rockets are like varied. He has Bronzong, Nidoqueen, DaTa, that's really good rockets. He also has T-Spikes with Nidoqueen. I suppose Palkia would be a rocket too. And he has okay removal too.
Yeah. One thing that I like about his teams, like mostly because of the memes, like Palkia62, because it can surprisingly put in the work despite being only a one-pointer. But it has like some nice utility. But outside of the memes, like he seems like definitely really good. Tapu Fini with Medicham is like really nice because the terrain helps against the prevents Medicham from getting burned or paralyzed.
Yeah, it does help in that sense. Yeah, and like Mega Medicham just pairs well with Cheetor, even though Cheetor doesn't have pursuing more. Cheetor can just help like switching on the psychic type that Mega Medi doesn't want to take on.
Yeah, you can definitely like it can be a really threatening still because like it has 134, 135. I don't remember the number exactly, but it's a text that's like really high, so you can still pressure stuff like really really well. And he also has some dark coverage on some other stuff like Thunderous, Arcanine, that can help pressure Medicham switchings.
Yeah.
And
in general, I'd say that just has a very solid game plan. He has like nice defense and like with good pivoting abilities. Like he can just go Fini and like weaken the team a bit, and then he can go Arcanine, teleport out into his breakers. Like break a bit, and then at the end, Fundy or Noivern can just clean up. It's a very standard and basic, if that makes sense, but it's just very proven and it works well.
Yeah, I can definitely.
He's got a lot of options to work with. As I said, the teleport. He has Doppler there as well. You probably won't come to my team, but he has Sticky Web, Sticky Webs. Nice Wish Sport from Ordino. well, so he does have a lot of options for his team.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, webs isn't something that's not bring DaTa at all, but it's still something that the opponent has to account for and prep. Should account for and prep. Then Mega Medicham and Fini on the webs can be quite scary for sure. Obviously, with Calm Mind being an insane win con every time, basically every matchup.
Yeah, it can definitely be quite scary if you let that thing unchecked. Also, his hazard game is like really good. Besides the webs, he has.
I think we did mention that before.
Yeah, I probably spaced it out, but it's really good indeed.
Yeah.
The one problem I might see with the team is that he's kind of dark weak, but Fini every dark in the game, so who cares? But if it's like a dark type of Ninja, for example, Great Ninja can run Gang Shot, and it might get a little scary.
Yeah, but I think there are ways around that.
Yeah,
exactly. I feel like the team is really good at like takes care of each other's weaknesses very nicely, but just there's like no broken one or like no broken mechanic.
And besides the top two,
like just good enough to be up here. Like
yeah, the synergy is like really good.
There's no like the see or like a go late for this team. Well, I think we're mostly done, but I'd probably rather have LucasB for this next coach, because this next coach is kind of he feels kind of unviable. We probably have to have more people talking about him. Palkia not here either. It's quite unfortunate.
Yeah. Wait.
Palkia's here. Think of.
I guess LucasB is not here. I'll introduce our next coach, the most unviable coach of PP. DaTa, coach of German NSX. His team consists of Victini, Glycol, Toxpex, Gomery, Alakazam, Kira, Mega Sharpedo, Comfy, Sableye, Porygon, Ampros, and Trapinch.
Thank God I paid so much money to be up here on the power rankings.
Yeah, people like it has his fault. He got vibes so easily.
Yeah, has wanted to interfere, but just paid it off.
Yeah, but looking at your team though, like I see like Glycol, Pex, and Skarmory, and I'm thinking I don't want to take on that defensive core. That's just gonna be annoying to break.
Yeah, it can be quite annoying to face if played right.
I think you should probably alone. Because there are certain things that I don't even want to mention.
Overall, it does cover the heads as a defensive backbone in Glycol, Pex, and Skarmory, and it would like Slay Sableye to cover. It's got good specialty like sweepers with Victini, Alakazam, Mega Sharpedo. Maybe just one thing could be like you could add maybe another physical sweeper on top of Mega Sharpedo, just because you like. Well, I guess you have Victini, but yeah. So I think overall it does seem like a very good balanced team. Like defensively, is annoying to take on, and offensively you have to handle Victini, which is always a menace.
Yeah, and there are still threats like Trapinch that cannot be slept on.
Yeah, 100 base attack.
Yeah, that thing can be like really scary if you don't consider it. Simply because trapping is busted sometimes.
You should not discount Porygon. Oh my goodness.
Porygon.
Yeah, Porygon.
Imagine the core Porygon and Trap Ends to Trick Room. Into Trap Ends.
Oh my god.
Trick Room, Teleport, and Trap. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Unbeatable.
I'm getting all these ideas here.
Yeah, but I don't see much that this thing can struggle against. Maybe like a really strong dragon type can be scary sometimes. Mostly because Skarmory and Comfy don't want to take like something like Garchomp, for example.
Garchomp could be problematic, yeah, but I think like with Gliscor, it should be fine because Gliscor can handle, well, besides Sword Zones, variants can take down. Comfy can handle stuff like and Latios quite well with priority training kits.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. I guess other thing is maybe another psychic type other than like another special sweeper other than Alakazam could have been gotten because of course you have the psychic type with the team, so maybe another like a different type could have been preferred, but overall just nitpicks at this point. It is a solid team.
Yeah, I can see that. Even Mega Sharpedo can be special, even though physical is a lot better. But
yeah,
it definitely has the option.
Yeah.
Like it has some decent special attack stats for recall correctly.
Yeah, it's 110.
It's not nothing that goes unnoticed. Even though like physical's always better because of strong jaw and the higher attack set.
Yeah.
It's something that you can already consider.
Yeah, you can always on Ice Beam just because if you take on like a special like physical like Tangrowth or even stuff like Garchomp that does have like rough skin, so it has that option as well. But I think but as I said, like he is gonna rely on both Sharpedo and Bikini for being his physical play too.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that.
Alright.
I think that's all we have to say.
Did you go over removal?
Removal.
The hazard games overall.
Solid. Gliscor, Skarmory, Kyurem, Comfy. He's got quite a bit. Well, the Gliscor doesn't really want to defog, so probably leave it like.
Yeah, but yeah. I think Skarmory is like really helps Gliscor because you don't want Gliscor to be your only to be your main defogger and stuff rocker. So Skarmory definitely helps with that. Yeah. And
Gliscor takes the electric hits for Skarmory as well, so they do that well.
Yeah, that is very true. I think hazards, although it can be a little bit predictable, it's still quite good.
Yeah. Fast top specs.
Yes, that is also true. That is also an option. I think
I paid you off. I probably wouldn't have been able to live with the critique. This would have gone normally. But now the viewers might ask, what could possibly beat someone with such amazing greatness as myself, with a mon as magnificent as Mega Shark on my team? Well, the only one that could possibly beat
anyone, eh?
Well, the only one that could really beat a team with a Mega Shark on it is obviously the Shark himself, Sharky, which of the dark-coated Dark Race.
Yeah.
So on his team he has Urshifu single strike formation. Fable Covenant Cinderace Garchomp of the Mega variation. Vaporeon Rotom of the Mo formation. Lycanroc of the Dusk formation. And the Galarian Slowking. As well as Oricorio and Diglett. A whole lot of forms here. Right?
Several formations.
Many variations. But yeah, I mean, the first off starting is actually these Singu Broken One in Gen 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Broken One.
And
like
he drafted Urshifu, and then he decided to draft the best check to Urshifu as well. So
well, the best checks, I guess, with Clefable and Corviknight.
he just went and drafted against 1 by 1.
Yeah, that's normally how one can draft. Instead of drafting stuff to counter what you struggle, you draft what you struggled, so you don't struggle against it.
I mean, nonetheless, his mons work nicely together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very true.
Yeah, Clefable Corviknight's very defensive core. Cinderace is a nice pivot. Pauses Shifu. Garchomp is another sweeper, just handle it. Vaporeon Wishcaster. He has a roam for the Volt Switch. Lycanroc Dust to handle the potential flying types that could be a problem with the Fiery Starrock. And I think another one that does actually could go well with the Shifu is Galarian Slowking, because it takes the fairy types that it will struggle with some of the more defensive poisons and like poisoners and like steel flyings. Slowking can handle with its coverage. So I think that one will be important for you as well.
In general, his pivoting is like really insane. Like he has basically a pivot move on every mode besides
Garchomp.
And his U-turn
and
there's a few later down the road, but
yeah,
it's like U-turn, teleport, U-turn, and there's a Garchomp, and there's flip turn, Volt Switch, and so far. Unfortunately, Slowking Galar does not have the teleport.
Yeah, but Oricorio has U-turn.
Yeah, right. His rockets are really good as well, like Mega Garchomp, like in Rock Dusk. One of them is probably gonna get rocks every game.
Yeah. Even Clef, although you don't want to, you don't want to run Rock Clef most of the time.
I mean,
but it's still a very nice rock.
But it's a very reliable rocker. Just mostly of other stuff.
Or you could use your opponent's rocks, which
he only has. Right, he only has 2 removals. I suppose he also has core change on days.
Well, 3. He has 3. Corviknight, Rotom, and Volcoria, I guess.
Yeah, but then he has Corviknight and Rotom, and Corviknight basically can run defog every game because broken.
You don't need much. Yeah, you can do its job very well.
Yeah, it's the best. Defocus.
You don't really get up hazards against a Corviknight most of the time.
Yeah.
There's a few things that are like annoying for him to deal with. He's kind of weak to water, but like the 2 things he has for water is like super good.
Yeah,
like Vaporeon and Metamo. Those pressure like most of
it. If you manage to to weaken Vaporeon, then water types become a little bit scary or problematic.
Right. I suppose he's kind of weak to ground, like especially if he faces like a Zygarde, because he doesn't have a ground resist. Exactly, he only has immunities, and like he doesn't have 1,000 errors to resist. But then again, that's only 1 mon, and he can take care of that somewhat fine still because he has the Clefable.
Yes,
Clefable's there. Otherwise, Clef is there, so it should be fine.
Like you mentioned, I really like this looking Galar. I feel like it's such a good fit in this team. It's really scary. Like you'd say that usually he'd have struggle against defensive fairies, but Slowking Galar just takes care of that. It's just a really nice offensive add-on to the other ones, as well as being obviously a T-Spikes absorber.
Yeah, wait, does it get
Yeah.
hit points?
No, it's a absorber.
Oh, absorber. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Unfortunately, there's one big problem that this team has, in my opinion, and that's the fact that his only answer to ghost types is Urshifu single strike, which is definitely not optimal. Like if he faces a Spectria, there's Wisp Hacks, it's definitely gonna be quite tough to play against that.
yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, especially
But also, I
like
think
you
that stuff like Clefable and Vaporeon can take care of them for you.
Yeah, I don't know where Clef comes in again.
somewhat for sure.
Yeah, you'd
not
be relying a
amazingly,
little
though.
bit on what's the name again? Unaware Clefable
Yeah.
to take care of Spectres.
You could
Yeah.
honestly just run.
It runs up on. It runs
You could
up
honestly
on,
just run. Yeah, you can honestly just run Spectria.
Mm-hmm.
Like Urshifu still takes half because it has like no special defense.
Yeah,
So
Gengar will.
like
Yeah,
with
Gengar does well against the team as well. So
Gengar then also takes care of Clefairy and Sludge Wave. So
Yeah,
that's like the one main problem it has. If that wasn't, it's also what pushed him to be second instead of first.
I see. Yeah, makes sense.
yeah,
But I still think he can work around that, especially because he has.
He has a lot of natural bulk that could kind of
Yeah.
like help with that.
Not only bulk, but also fast mons that can revenge those problematic ghosts.
Yeah, he also has Sucker Punch on a few ones.
Yeah,
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, I think it seems quite good.
mm-hmm.
I think we can move on to the last one then.
Yeah. So the last thing
think he
is. Sorry.
I think he was, by the way, last on PRs last season. That's quite interesting. He was
Yeah,
one-
I think
at
he
least
was.
one of the last ones.
Yeah. Anyways, we have
That's-
Ethan and his Nashville Predators, and his team consists of Mega Mawile, Slowbro, Rillaboom, Crocodile, Howlucha, Snorlax, Thunderous Therian Formation, Dragouge, Alolan Ninetales, Alolan Golem, and Alolan Sandslash. So
he's representing Alola with his team.
yeah, he has the triple Alola core. Yeah, but like this seems like super good. I think like Mega Mario and Rillaboom
Yeah.
together, like it's crazy scary.
I mean, like, Megamod Slowbro is something we've seen a lot. Megamod is like quite insane, and then Slowbro just pivots into it.
Yeah, to
Mhm.
teleport.
That's like one of the best parts of the game. Like the way he drafted around Rillaboom, like he has Regality, which I think really appreciates his DQs being gone, and also likes the recovery that it gets from it, as well as Lax, Snorlax, which usually lacks recovery, and Crook, which usually
Yeah.
lacks recovery. Of course, Crook means that it can't run like EQ, but it gets high
It does get
horsepower.
higher. Yeah, it does
So
get
Yeah.
higher
that's still
horsepower.
fine.
Yeah, you
And
can work
more
around.
in Slowbro. More in Slowbro also really like the aggressive terrain.
Mhm.
And then obviously he has like as we mentioned, he has like really good breakers and Mega Mole, and then Fundy T is like also really good break on the special side. And then Lucha can just clean up with every game. And also, if Lucha doesn't work, he has Rillaboom as an option. Aggressive Glide.
Yeah, Aggressive Glide is like really good most matches. Even though like Grass is not like the best offensive type, just because it's like a priority under terrain. It's like super good, super strong, super scary to face.
Yeah, I also pretty much like the Lola Ninetales. Like, but the screens really help him because he has a lot of things that might want to set up. He can run like SD Mega Mobile, SD Rillaboom, and Nasty Plot Fun DT.
Yeah, and Lucha even.
Yeah, Lucha too. And obviously, like, if you already grab the Hail, then you might as well run the Sandslash 11. I feel like that's a nice low tier option. He grabbed himself there. Or I feel like it's something he's probably not going to bring, or like gonna bring rarely.
Yeah, but all in all, I think Sandslash Alola pairs nice with both Ninetales and Rillaboom. Because its stab option goes from Iron Head up to Steel Roller. That's like 130 power, I think. It's like more than 1.5 stronger. Of course, you can only use Yons it once, but it's still a very nice option for when you are under the terrain.
One thing I have with this team is that his removal is awful. It's terrible.
I think he'll rely on Thunderous for that.
Yeah,
you have Thunderous and like maybe Lucha.
Yeah,
and Sandslash.
Yeah, Sandslash as well. That's another thing where I think Sandslash as well is a nice option here.
But I don't think he properly needs removal.
But there's boots nowadays, so
yeah.
His team isn't necessarily Hazard's weak per se.
Yeah, his team does not Hazard's weak at all because honestly you can just slap on boots on 5 or 6 months and then bring a Mega Maw.
Yeah.
So I think that's mostly fine. Another thing is that his kind of lacking like Mega Maw and Kirk. I think that's it. Well, Golem and Sandslash too. But I don't think Golem or Sandslash are going to come to a lot of games. Kirk is such a good rock setter. I think it's also fine because Kirk gets up rocks every game if he wants to.
Yeah, Crook's like a really reliable rocker.
Yeah, I don't really like Crook on this team because the fairy is obviously not the best defensive fairy. It doesn't have recovery and it wants to put on more offensive pressure. So he might struggle against dark types. Like fighting types are taken care of by a Slowbro. And dark types are taken care of by Crook mostly. Like dark types, dragon types is something he could struggle against, but he also has another fairy and Ninetales.
Yeah, he has a backup.
Yeah.
And like if you really think about it, most Slowbro and Lags together take care of like almost every mon. Like there's like an offensive dark type and then offensive dark types are taken care of by Crook. I feel like it works well together very nicely.
Yeah.
All in all, it's definitely not a perfect team.
Yeah, it definitely has like some really good upsides. But
strengths more than make up for the weaknesses.
Well, although we said at the beginning of the the power rankings that every team is bad, so
Sure.
Yeah, this isn't a good
All the
thing.
teams are
Everything is bad.
terrible.
All teams are bad. This isn't a good thing.
All teams are terrible.
Indeed.
It is indeed it was.
Yeah, I really think that his team like really complements each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not much to say about it then.
I think
Just
the
like
only
that.
Timon that is like the most odd one is Golem.
Yeah.
Golem is also nice because he can sort of struggle against build types.
Yeah, certain seal types can be problematic, so
And Golem.
Yeah, Magnet Ball.
Golem can help with that.
Yeah.
But besides
Yeah.
that, I think it's the only one that's like the most out of place.
Yeah.
I think it's still fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of Golem in general. Like, can't just run.
Golem.
Or something like Explosion. Golem. That's right.
Yeah, but even Galvanize
I
can
want
be.
to say about that.
You don't necessarily have to run Magnet Ball, so you can run Galvanize and. Although you don't have the return option anymore for it, you
Yeah.
still can run
Yeah.
Explosion.
Big explosion.
Yeah. Did you know that our shared notes about this team just say really good team? That's a good argument.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's no way to counter argument that.
So, as I think that this is a great team because it is a good team, really deserved this first spot.
Yeah, it's definitely deserved, I think.
Because all the teams are terrible nonetheless. Anything you still want to say about any team? Reminder to all coaches that if you aren't satisfied with the results, please message Haz. He's gonna answer to all complaints.
Yeah. He can definitely take all the complaints that you have about the tier that he didn't make. So
Yes.
go talk to him. Don't talk to us.
Yes, I'll block you if you talk to me.
And shoutouts again to Lucas for streaming this.
It's recording. Yeah. Not streaming.
Oh yeah.
I'm recording.
That's what I mean. We gotta do this new now. I have my mess up here.
Yeah.
Then
Any final notes?
thank you to everyone for listening. It
And
was a pleasure to host this. I wish everyone of you still has a wonderful day.
and see you next season, I guess.
Yep, and good luck to everyone.
Yes, good luck. It's always important.
No, not good luck to the Poison Point pledges. I will take all the luck myself.
I see. So happy joining for Poison Point.
Yeah.
Happy Johnny.
Yes. So thank you.
Thank you.
We out.